Last year in April was quite warm, so it was a bit of a surprise this year to see snow at the beginning of April. Apologies for including this video of the mountain behind the house, but it looked so fantastic, I felt. A visit to one of many stoneworks outside Ada. This is actually to get some material for another long thought about project. This in fact is a coffee table with a rather unusual stone. The selection here is in fact quite awesome, and of course the machinery and what they can do with the stone is pretty fantastic too, but the prices, ooh, the price. After selecting a slab, it needed to be cut very precisely. So watching this highly automated and computer operated and everything else machinery in action was really quite fantastic. This particular works in conjunction with many artists, so the production of specialized objects is not something unusual for them. In the offices are examples of different forms of stone which they have in stock. Frankly, I find this utterly absorbing. The possibilities are just awesome. The Atlanterhavsveien is a major tourist attraction in the area. I'm actually rather taken by this very fascinating design for a cafeteria on the Atlanterhavsvej, but I cannot help but feel that some of the shoddy workmanship is a sign of how the producers of this amazing design actually feel about the people who use it. This is a major tourist attraction, and you can't see out the bloody windows. How can they have forgotten that? So Frederick and I decided to chance the sea. It was hellish rough, and both of us were very seasick. Frederick, though, professed himself very satisfied with the fish he caught. We were out there for a short time, and as you can see from the fish finder, there were a lot of fish there. All of a sudden, Stemshest Mountain appeared out of the fog. It was truly awesome, just floating there in the air. All of a sudden, Frederick hooked the best fish of the day. After a struggle, it came in, and it was a good-sized cod. Very thick, good-sized cod too.
Yeah. Nice, very nice.
Reidar needed a lathe from his boat workshop at Tresfjord. So off we set. I simply love the ferry trips. You get a pause in your hectic car journey. Time for a breather. It's always nice to see if the machinery still works. And this beautiful drill functions 100%. Look here, this is automatic feed mechanism for the drill bit itself. Isn't that wonderful? All those exposed gears. Automatically, and you disengage it by lifting this handle here. Isn't that beautiful? This is a trip hammer, a very much sought after piece of equipment, but very, how should I say, dangerous looking. From the smithy down to the boatworks. How did they get all the wood and the machinery down there? Everywhere you look, there are hand tools, machinery, and materials just laid down and left. The tools are all top quality, but very, very old. This would be the jig where they made the last of their boats. The skill and knowledge must have been awesome. This is something we cannot afford to lose. This is generations of knowledge and skill just abandoned. This is not right. We cannot rely on computers and digital magic, because by accepting it we are totally reliant on a system and massive investments in technology which we have no connection with.
Patterns.
Only the end product. If it lets us down, we are screwed. This is what we came for, and we had to get it down those very narrow stairs, and we dropped it. This is the road tunnel behind Mulder. I find these just fascinating, just those lights going on and on in the distance. The anti-commercial seaweed harvesting campaign is hotting up, with the other side having posted an article saying that fish are undisturbed by commercial seaweed harvesting. As always, it depends on how you actually read the information. On a little trip from the house, I was caught by the mountains again. My apologies, I just had to include this. I think these little glimpses are just... they just are, for me, it's what makes everything so worthwhile. The awesomeness of nature, and it's here, and it's mine! As this video progresses, you will see the structure of the table begin to emerge. It actually involves quite a few complicated structural questions. This is a Lamello biscuit jointer. It's quite an expensive piece of equipment for what it does, but the actual function enables you to do things which would have taken a great deal of time otherwise. Also with more precision, and indeed perhaps even with more structural integrity. There are a number of rules we follow in life. One of the most important is that you don't show your failures, you show your successes. While I do have some very strict rules and morals, I like to question them all the time. So this little project here was a failure, but I'm showing it to you because I thought that it was fun all the same. There is an area of mud flats, I would say possibly as much as a mile, and a good deal of it drains into this little pool when the tide is out. And this is where all the strange animals collect. I've seen baby halibut, I've seen small sand eels, giant sand eels, shrimps, prawns, crabs, you name it, in this very pool. So I thought it'd be fun to see if I could drop the GoPro in and film from a buoy. So I suspended the camera from the buoy and attached a rope long enough to go from both sides of the pond to the buoy and dragged it halfway across. Where? It simply got caught in the weed until it was time to drag it out. Well, actually, just previous to that, a crab had to go at it. Found it quite interesting. So you can see the crab just for a second or two. Frankly, I find the patterns and textures awesome. The surface of the water, the bottom of the pond, everything. Just truly, truly fascinating. Here at Hustadvika we have a lot of heavy weather. Sometimes the weather is not terribly interesting, but I was just driving along and had a look down at Kråka, which is just outside the Hustadvika harbour, and saw some fantastic waves. There you are. I thought I'd just stick those in too. One of my favourite places for fishing is one of the little bays along the Atlanterhavsveien. I fished here for many years and never ever gone away without having had any fish or any bites. This time there was absolutely nothing. No bites, no nothing. Same in the other places I tried. I noticed also that there are no anglers on the Atlanterhavsveien these days, or very few. Normally this would happen just after an area has been harvested for seaweed, but it's illegal to harvest for seaweed in this particular area at the moment. Could this be the case? As I was leaving for yet another fishing trip, I was all of a sudden asked if I could rescue one of the local fishermen. So, with his wife, off we set to fulfill this rescue. It went very well indeed. He got some really good fish, so it wasn't an entirely wasted day on his part. After playing with the rope for an age, we finally got underway. The Suzuki outboard behaved impeccably. I would, without hesitation, recommend it to anyone in a similar situation. It uses incredibly little fuel, is quiet, economical, and very reliable. A little word of advice, though, for those of you who might find themselves in this situation one day. If the sea is calm, don't tow the boat. You tie yourself alongside it. It's actually much more efficient and it's much easier to control. You can also have a friendly chat without having to shout. So started the fishing trip proper. After a lot of faffing around, I finally got a nice little pollock.
What do we got? What do we got? I got a lead. Oh, nice. Nice. Come on, Dad. Welcome on board.
I ended up spending the whole day at sea and got out about 8 to 10 kilometres out. It was quite rough, but I didn't get seasick. I was very pleased.
Yeah, cold fish of 25 pounds.
I reckon maybe
cod,
just over 100 pounds of fish. Frederick came for a visit, quick cup of coffee and a nice little chat. As we were standing there, he started eyeing the keyboards, and before long, come on Frederick, give it a go! Frederick also has a lot of stories from his time as a fisherman.
Borta du och Fredrik Mare.
Excellent!
Ja, du skjønner det. Vi var med på Hustad.
Båten som heter Hustadvika.
Den heter for Hustad.
Hustad, okej. Och vem var det som ägde den?
Ole Mare. Johan Mare.
Okej.
Den var 110 fot.
Hvor mange mann?
Vi var 11 mann. 10 og 11 mann.
Så det var ikke mye rom på der?
Nei.
Litt trangt?
Var mye på Færøya. Og det er første året, vet du, så begynte det. Der vi var jo mye på utfor Lærvik og utfor der. Der vet du var det bare 12-milsgrense.
Oh, yeah.
One of the major occupations here is keeping warm. As a result, I am always very concerned where next winter's fuel is going to come from. So usual source is not being available. I had a little chat with Anders and he said, oh, you can have some of those trees up there. So I went along with Knut Benedict and ably assisted by him, we felled 3.
That's a very, very big Pollock Row. The coffee table is jolly nearly finished. I must admit to being very, very satisfied with the design. It is easy enough to fool oneself into being pleased with something which one really has no right to be pleased about. But I'm afraid to say that I feel that I have a right to be pleased about this, because as a furniture maker you need to mature, and I feel that this is a sign of my maturity as a designer and maker. To finish, a picture I took from my veranda midweek. I am so pleased to have finally got a reasonable picture of the Northern Lights, and it's all due to the GoPro.